Hi everybody, thank you for coming to my channel. This is Wendy, and this is kind of a craft with me kind of thing. I just kind of wanted to show you a tip on what I do when I am making signatures. I am currently working on this journal. I'm calling it my tombstone. Hopefully some of you out there have seen the movie Tombstone with Val Kilmer. I'll be your Huckleberry. Love that. Anyway, I had this paper pad for the longest time, and it's all brown, creams, and blacks. And every time I look at it, I think of the movie Tombstone, because of course it's a Western, but they were all dressed in black suits, and there was lots of the creams. You know, it's Western, but they had the frilly side, and then they had the farmers, you know, that kind of, you know, balanced it out with the gingham and the, you know, the flowery dresses. So this is called Tombstone because the color scheme is just like that movie. And then of course it didn't hurt that it had Val Kilmer in it either. So normally I do things a little differently. With this one I made my cover first. I repurposed a hardback book, redid the spine, and I went ahead and did my inside covers. So see the theme, it's kind of just all that pretty neutral tones. What I am doing in this is I'm not putting any lace, but I am putting fabrics, mainly ruffles, if you can tell, but fabrics that kind of give it the pop of color. You know, I got this ruffle in there. I got some little tabs of fabric. So fabric and a lot of stitching is going into this journal. So I've stitched a lot of the papers and ragged up the fabric. Anyway, I made my cover first. I went ahead and finished the cover just for the fact I had the idea first. Sometimes it's the opposite, but I had this first. So then I come along and now I'm working on my signatures. So basically when I do a signature, I grab, you know, a group of papers, which I'm using scrapbook paper from this paper pad. And I pulled out the papers and I kind of layered it how I think I would want it. And then I went ahead and it came with different tags and, you know, words. And I went ahead and made the ephemera for it. If you notice, I have stitching for it. Little note spots. So I went ahead and kind of made most of those. This one is a big old, I thought this was cool. And then on the opposite side. So I made as many as those as I could. So I'm working on this signature. So, and normally I kind of get the paper as I want it, and then I start with the first page and I see how I want it. This is the beginning of my signature, and then, you know, I start working from it there. So, you know, one page at a time, because if I need to put sewing, this is a good time to do it. I will end up taking all of these out when I actually do the pamphlet stitch to stick the signatures into my cover, because it's just a pain to have all the tags and everything in the way. But so I work it one page at a time. I just kind of start at the beginning and go one page at a time. Sometimes I draw a blank on a page and I skip it and I go forward. Now right now I'm just working on what I call the pocket and tag pages. I haven't inserted my journaling paper as of yet into this. I was trying to make it as journal friendly as possible with the paper pad that I'm using and the tags. So as I was going through this though and making these, so here's the center of the signature. So I'm kind of, I got this page and I got to tuck here, which I know that I'm going to put hold on, before I forget. I know what I was putting there. So, so what I was doing was when I need some base pages for my signature, I make them myself out of book pages. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but you know, I always have a block of book pages. Still, you know, I've got probably like 4 of these just like this, because you know, you use them to make stuff for your journal. And I'm always trying to think of ways that I can use them up, because I hate to waste them and just pitch them. This is my coloring one, honestly, that I color in. But what I like to do is make actual pages that would fit in my signature. So this is one I glued together and then cut it down to size, and it fits into a signature. Now I'll probably put a few in just plain to go in my writing part, and because I still think you can write on these. I love this. But the majority of the time is I like to use them as the base page for my journal. So like this is a strip of book pages that I made, and then I used it as a base page to put my, you know, my tuck spot. I did a ribbon. Where's the, I did another one in here too. Oh, here's the other side of it to put, I sewed pockets on. This back piece, okay, you know how you have, when you have a scrapbooking page and the other side is white? Well, I covered it with book pages. You know, I glued it and I stitched it all the way around. Because, you know, I love the look of it for one thing, but it just gives it, you know, you can cover it. Normally on my scrapbook pages, I will coffee dye them to age them up some. But since this already had that color scheme, you know, I went ahead and just covered them with book pages. So I just thought I would mention that if you guys needed additional pages, you know, break out those book pages and use those. So like, all right, so this is where, oh wait, how did I have it? Okay, I had it, I put this one in. So I was working on this page, what I wanted to put on it, and I decided I needed a file folder like type of thing that opens up and have something here. So that is kind of what I'm working on right now. I did do another, oh, here's another one. This was a flip. I'm not finished with this one yet, but I put a book page on the inside cover. So I'll probably put a tuck spot or a scrap of paper to write on here. And then on this side, it has a little flip out. I'm not done with that yet. Like I said, you know, you bounce around when you're playing when you're playing with paper. So here's another center that I'm doing, and the back side I glued ledger paper on, because I want to be able to, you know, for whoever gets this, I hope they're like me, because I like to write and doodle on every bit of paper I can. So I always like to leave lots of open spaces. Oh, here was my thought on this one. So I was, excuse me, I must be talking too much. So for a center page, I had this, and I think I'm going to stitch it down, add some ruffles, and have 2 big old pockets, because I have these big postcards, and I think they would go well here. So that's my thought with this page, but I'm not there yet. So I am pulling this one out, setting this to the side. It also helps, I don't know, I know there's always a question, do you do the signature or the cover first? And honestly, it's back and forth. I go back and forth. But this is also helping me know how much I can fill it. Oops. How much I can fill it. At least, you know, one signature before I put it in. You know, how big I can actually fill it with stuff. Because, yeah, I do like a gator mouth. But I don't want, you know, where it opens up, I don't want it just so overwhelming that this doesn't close. You know, I want this to be manageable. So this kind of helps me figure out how much I am stuffing a signature in. So, I don't know if you guys want to stay around while I am playing with this paper. If you guys seen the mess I have made, you will be like, oh my goodness, because I get messy when I work on a journal, because when I'm working on one journal, all of the paper and all the stuff that I'm using for that journal is spread out all around me. Thank goodness you guys can't see it, but it is like all over the place. And I leave it all out until I'm finished with that journal, because I don't like to work on another journal without, and get myself confused on what I'm doing, is basically what it is, because I'll confuse myself thinking, oh, am I doing this, you know, pocket, and yeah, I just kind of work on one journal at a time. I do have thoughts. I have 2 covers made of another journal, 2 more journal covers made and ready to go. This one called to me first, so I decided to go ahead and go for it and work on it. So, I don't know how you guys do your glue. I use my finger a lot. I love my glue stick, but I'm kind of running low on my glue stick, so I've been using my wet glue. I use, for glue stick wise, I used Elmer's Craft Bond Permanent Extra Strength. I don't know why. I've heard a lot of people have issues with glue sticks, and they say eventually it doesn't hold. Well, to me, eventually all glue will eventually not hold, however old it gets. But I'm telling you, that Craft Bond Extra Strength Permanent, it's permanent. It's not the washable glue stick. It sticks, and then I'm like, I can't pull it off. I don't have an issue with it. And I don't have an issue with this one either. This one is a Glue All multi-purpose. It says for household repairs. Extra strong, dries fast. It's not a washable. I think when people think of Elmer's, they think of washable glue, and definitely don't get the washable, because that won't work. So just a tip on some glue. I would love to use some of the fancier glues, but you know, when you're watching your pennies, you know, you adapt to what you can get. I do, of course, always have my fabric tack on hand, but then again, my fabric tack is mainly for my covers, because I want my covers to be sturdy. That's a good word for it. Sturdy. I don't know. Okay, so I needed a layer. I had to put a layer on the back of that because it just wasn't. Sometimes you get flimsy paper that's not sturdy enough, and I always like to put a layer on it and make it a little stiffer. And I'd like to know how everybody works on their journals. I'm just always curious. Curious how it works for everybody, because let's see. And I love, let's see, Well, do I want the, no, I'm going to do it here. I don't know if you guys ever have a envelope maker. This thing, it has a bone folder that goes right in, but you can make a lot of stuff with this thing, not just an envelope. So what I do, I mark out where I want my tab, and then I kind of just, I should be using my cutter, but I don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, made a file folder, and then I just redo my corners, because I like curved corners on my. So, what I'll do is, now I'm debating, do I want to have it a flip open or have it as a pocket? Probably a flip open, don't you think? And how I will make a flip over, normally this is what happens when you have a ton of scraps. That always comes in handy. Scraps are your friends. Sometimes I get all these strips of fabric, strips of paper that I cut off, and what's nice is they make great hinges. So what I'll do is I'll fold it in half, and then just glue. Alright, that's how I'll do it. Sorry, I was trying to think and talk at the same time, and you know, sometimes that don't work. Doing two things at once. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd let you guys hang out with me while I do this. It's getting close to dinner time, and I wanted to get some stuff done and let it dry. I'm the worst person when it comes to waiting for something to dry. So I have to tell myself, walk away, walk away. I did this one, and I'm like, okay, I have to stop and let it dry, because I did a two page. So because I'm still debating if I'm going to glue the back side in and just let it be a pull out, but then you only get this much, when honestly there's a third page, so you'd have this much. So it's probably going to be, it might just go back behind this page. So many choices. That's another thing. There's so many choices. It's like, what do you do? So, that's how I do my hinge. And what's really nice is I can use my washi tape to help adhere it onto here. And nobody will ever see it. Well, they will, because it'll be a flip open if they look. Let's see. I probably have it here. So, let's see. Oh, it's going to go right along that line. So, let me add the glue, and then I'll find some washi tape. And we'll get my little file folder going here. So I'm going to put it right there. I could put it on this side too. I had some, let's see, add some of this, add some color. Well, it's black, but it'll add some color to it. All right. Okay, then I'll have to leave it under my book press and let it flatten. There we go. This will probably get majority covered anyway. I just needed, this is the beginning of my flap here. So, do I want to put a little, well, why not? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Let's just do it. Even though I'm trying not to make it too frou-frou-y. A little bit ain't gonna hurt. Because I don't have any washi tape whatsoever in this thing yet. So, here we go. Alright. So now, let me pull this off. Alright. I want it a little janky. I want it a little worn out. Alright. So now my next quest is to figure out what I am going to put on the inside. And I think I have some really cool, where is it? Where is my, this is, just like I was telling you guys before, this is with some scrap paper, and I coffee dyed it to, you know, take off the whiteness of it, and that's what I normally do with my scrapbook pages. So I have, oh, that'll fit nicely there. So, and this one, now we don't want to do 2 pieces next. We don't want 2 pieces. I have so many scraps right now, it's ridiculous. So I could, let me put, let's see. So do you guys just kind of try things out here, like, you don't know? I'm like, well, this might work. What do you want to do, huh? So actually, let's see here. So where's the flip? Okay, so the flip is there. So if I put it like this, and I could have a pocket on each side, I think. Or a long pocket. Something to think about. Because there is... Okay. So when that opens up, I think I have one here. And there. And then we have the center point. Wow. No plan. I'm just going as I could. So let's tear to that point. I love tearing. I love the tearing ruler, but sometimes I just don't get it at that right spot. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so we're going to put that right in here. And, oh, there goes my doggy. Must be dinner time. Okay, so if I flip this open, I will do a pocket here, and then this will be a long pocket, I'm thinking, for here, and I'll put something here. And I could leave that out for, let's see, what did I, nope, it's in the same spot. So I will probably sew here and here and whack that off. Okay, happy little accident here. All right, but first I'm gonna have to flatten this, make sure all the glue flattens. And I think that's all I can do right now because it's dinner time. So thanks for hanging around with me. And I think I'll do this again and just kind of let you guys see how I'm putting a signature together. So let me know what you guys are up to. Like and share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.